We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T, and I hope everybody's doing good today. Make sure you guys have your teacups ready.
Get ready. Y'all get ready.
Yes, you get ready.
Because this tea is what? Piping hot. All right, so if you guys do not know, Mark Salling is currently trending all over social media. Now, I've been keeping up with this story for the past few years. Back in December of 2015, Mark Salling was basically tipped off by his ex-girlfriend. The police have kept her anonymous, so we don't know if it was Naya Rivera. We don't know who the ex-girlfriend was, but one of his ex-girlfriends basically tipped off the police back in 2015 that Mark Salling had over 50,000 images of child pornography on his computer. And supposedly he was trying to get her to engage in sexual acts and trying to get her, to start engaging in watching child porn, and it totally freaked her out. So she tipped the police off to his behavior. Now, she remains anonymous, but in 2013, there was an ex-girlfriend named Roxanne Gorzella, and she sued Mark for sexual battery and assault. She claimed that he forced unprotected sex on her, despite her request to use a condom. In her lawsuit, she also claimed that Mark pushed her, and she hit her head when she asked him if he's ever had an STD test. So she ended up suing him, and Mark ended up paying her $2.7 million in a settlement. So this dude is not a squeaky clean guy. So anyways, today in Sunland, California, near Topanga Canyon, they found his body hanging near a Little League field, okay? So let that sink in. A Little League field. Hopefully there were no children out there. But they found his body hanging. He had killed himself, and it's all over the news. Everybody's talking about it. And I see a lot of, Glee fans are saying they're sad and, oh my God, that's horrible. Because, they were fans of his. He played Puck on Glee. While you guys are mourning his death, I'm sure that most of you guys are sad because you guys are, enamored with the character Puck. Please realize that Puck was just a character, and he was an asshole character, if I can recall. I didn't really watch Glee all like that, but I don't think he was like one of like the sweet, sympathetic characters, but I might be wrong. While I understand people's affinity for Glee and, they get so enamored with these characters, please realize, like I said before, it's a character, and Mark Salling is the real person behind that. And this man was a pervert who had over 50,000 images of underage children on his computer. He pled guilty to this, so this is not some made-up shit. He pled guilty to it just about 2 months ago, and he was getting ready to get his sentence in March of 2018. So in just another few months, he was going to be sentenced, and he was looking at anywhere from 4 to 7 years if convicted. Even back in 2016, there was an interview with Naya Rivera, and at that point, she even said that she wasn't surprised at all about him being arrested for child pornography. So when you're saying things like that, it makes me feel like, well, damn, what the hell was really going on the set of Glee? That people are saying that they're not surprised by his actions and they're not surprised with him having child pornography. Like I've told y'all, the rabbit hole in Hollywood goes deep, and there's a lot of sinister things that takes place behind the scenes, but I can't feel like I don't have any sympathy for this situation. My sympathy goes out to his family members because, I'm sure he has a mother and, people who love him. But I'm not about to sit here and cry and mourn some pedo with 50,000 images of children on his computers. And let's not forget, most of the children on his computer were under the age of 5. These weren't, 16, 15-year-old, kids who've, in puberty. A lot of these children were under the age of 5, and he was literally doing this for his own gratification. Like, this is sick. I'm never going to celebrate somebody committing suicide or harming themselves, but I'm not going to cry tattooed tears for him either. At the end of the day, people are like, oh, he did it because he felt guilty and he was remorseful. I don't think he felt guilty and he was remorseful. To be honest with you, I feel like he did this because he feared what might happen to him once he goes to prison. As we all know, in prison, they don't play when it comes to, child pornography and sex offenders, and especially, child molesters and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that he necessarily, acted it out and he molested children. I'm not saying that. but they don't handle sex cases against children very well in the penal system. We all know this. So in my personal opinion, I don't think he was strong enough to handle the consequences of his actions. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the reason why he killed himself is because he was not ready to face the consequences. He wasn't trying to do 4 to 7 years. This is a man who's been privileged. He's been making good money for like the past 10 years, not to mention his residual checks from Glee. So he's not going to go from living this lifestyle that he's become accustomed to sitting his ass in a damn California state prison. So in my personal opinion, the reason why he killed himself is because he wasn't ready to do that time. I don't think he killed himself because of guilt or because he felt bad for what he did. This was just the easy way out for Mark. You know what I'm saying? So in my personal opinion, if you want to mourn him and be sad, you know, you're free to do that. But I don't have any tears and I don't have any mourning in my heart for somebody who was engaged in this type of nonsense, okay? You guys also have to realize, even if he was not physically molesting these children, because people make it seem like, oh, well, he was just looking at child porn, you know, that at least he wasn't actually molesting children. You have to realize somebody had to put an innocent child in a compromising situation and make that innocent child perform all types of deviant sexual acts on an adult, on other children, on themselves. You know what I'm saying? And these fucking pedos, they sit here and they watch this stuff, they get aroused off of it, and then they swap it around the internet like fucking trading cards. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, maybe he didn't go out and physically touch somebody's child, but somebody's child was molested and physically harmed and psychologically harmed to bring him these fucking images that he was calling himself enjoying. So, you guys, stop acting like because he went to jail for child pornography and not molesting a child that is somehow different or, you know, less severe. That child was still an abused child. That child is a person. That child is a human being with feelings, emotions. They're not ready to be sexually tapped into. And when somebody messes with their mind and their body, they end up being warped people. You know, they go through a lot in life. So I have no sympathy for this man at all. What he was engaged in is sick. And because of him and people like him is why you have a lot of these children being abused. So how about y'all say some of y'all's empathy and some of y'all's sympathy for these children in these pictures who have no choice to be in these pictures, who have no voice, who are being abused. So that way perverts like Mark Salling and other people like him can get some type of gratification. I don't know who the ex-girlfriend was who turned him in, but kudos to you. I'm glad you did the right thing. I'm glad you turned him in. No child should be subjected to being in child pornography, to being in child pornography videos. That is some of the most sickest, depraved shit that somebody can do to a child. And for somebody to sit on the other end of a computer and enjoy that, you're just as guilty as if you were molesting and raping that child yourself. So in my personal opinion, Mark Salling will not get not one damn tear from me for his suicide. And like I said before, I don't feel like he committed suicide because he was remorseful. He did it because he pled guilty. He knew he was going to have to do some time, and his pampered ass was too scared to go deal with the consequences in the California state prison system. And that's why he took his life. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button, and make sure you click that bell so you can be down with the notification squad, honey. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right. Deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.